I'm Ed Murrow. The time was stardate 4202.1. The Federation stood alone against a new deadly threat. When this new terror, the so-called Doomsday machine, broke out into System L370, leaving nothing but destruction in its wake. It had to be destroyed if the Federation was to survive. Captain Kirk gave the orders.
Scotty, push it right to the edge.
This is how it was done.
Captain, sensors show this entire solar system has been destroyed. Nothing left but rubble and asteroids.
The battle for the galaxy was on as the Enterprise went after a monster in the greatest showdown in history. On the bridge, for a few tense moments, the lives of all are moved around like pawns, and it was anyone's guess what would be the outcome. In charge of all was Commodore Decker, a man who'd seen much action and seen much personal tragedy.
They say there's no devil, Jim. But there is. Right out of hell, I saw it.
Forced to work alongside him was the reluctant first officer who tried to break through the barrier of cold officialdom to make him see logic.
We can maintain this speed for only 7 hours before we exhaust our fuel, but it can refuel itself indefinitely.
Then we'll have to fight it now before it gets any stronger.
Illogical.
Also starring William Shatner as Captain Kirk of the Enterprise. The Doomsday Machine is a shattering emotional episode of men and ships that brings back with overwhelming excitement and realism the defeats and despair, the triumph and the glory of a Starfleet action that destroyed a galactic threat.
Space battles in film were not new by the time of Star Trek. For example, the undisputed classic, 1961's The Phantom Planet, contained these stunning sequences.
6. They never attacked on that one before. What are we going to do?
Unlike Star Wars, whose visual inspiration for its space battles for the large part came from World War II aerial footage, Star Trek is far more nautical, with the British Navy of the 18th and 19th centuries looming large. The adventures of Horatio Hornblower have also long been cited as another source of inspiration, and that era had a small vogue in the early 1960s with such films as Mutiny on the Bounty and Damn the Defiant.
In my years of service, I have never met an officer who inflicted punishment upon men with such incredible relish.
The television series Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea wore its nautical inspiration on its sleeve.
Captain, this is sonar. We're picking up something close.
For me, though, the Doomsday Machine dips into World War II mythos, with similarities to Sink the Bismarck from 1960, depicting the destruction of said German ship by the British Navy in 1941.
And we are German!
Star Trek didn't always have heavy social messages to convey. Sometimes it was just rousing adventure. We begin with the Enterprise responding to a garbled distress call. And wait, who is this? Lieutenant Palmer is standing in for Uhura this week. Palmer would appear twice in the series, here and later on in Season 3. The story is she is there to warn Nichelle Nichols, who had elected to go to New York for a live singing date, that she was not irreplaceable. Well, they find that all 7 planets in System L370 have been destroyed. Season 2 brought upgrades to the bridge, such as Sulu's retractable viewer, and a set extension which now includes the view screen. The remastered version's inclusion of an animated screen is a nice touch. Seems the distress call is coming from the starship Constellation, which Kirk instantly assumes.
She was attacked.
Now we've seen Federation bases get their ass kicked, but this is the first time in the series that a starship has been decimated. I'm torn here as to which version I prefer, the original or the remastered version. The original used the AMT model kit, first marketed in 1967 to stand in for the damaged Constellation, with the decals rearranged from 1701 to say 1017. The remastered does add rocks and debris, but the ships still have that glossiness of earlier CGI. Kirk takes a small party to the ship to see if they can figure out what happened, taking all the environmental protection precautions 1967 required. While searching for a place to play back the ship's log, they do find one survivor, Commodore Matt Decker. Kirk and Decker seem to know each other, but it's not explained how. Presumably, the world of starship captains is small. Lore has it he is the father of Captain Decker of Star Trek the Motion Picture, but that is never stated in the movie, although it would help explain why Kirk treats him like a dick. Decker is here portrayed by William Wyndham, elevating the part from good to great.
My television career began in 1949 on the Philco Television Playhouse and continued into the 1990s.
Covered with an antic face?
I did have a short-lived series of my own, My World and Welcome to It, based on the works of James Thurber, which ran during the 1969 to 70 season. Besides Star Trek, I appeared in another well-known science fiction property, namely 1971's Escape from the Planet of the Apes.
They are not astronauts, General Faulkner. They are apes.
You also may know me from my role in Murder, She Wrote.
The special guest star of the week was a common occurrence in 1960s American television, and as there were a limited number of actors available at the time in Hollywood, it is easy to spot those who appeared in Star Trek popping up in other series of the period, and occasionally even in movies. Such a guest appearance could steal the show, Ricardo Montalban for example, and definitely here with William Wyndham.
Don't you think I know that?
Wyndham expertly portrays the anguish Commodore Decker feels on losing his entire crew while being powerless to help them. He is taken to the Enterprise just in time for the return of the nightmare that attacked Decker's ship. Whatever could it be?
You ever hear of a Doomsday machine? It's a weapon built primarily as a bluff. It's never meant to be used. So strong it could destroy both sides in a war. Something like the old H-bomb was supposed to be.
The whole point of the Doomsday machine is lost. If you keep it a secret, why didn't you tell the world, eh?
That's assuming it even is a Doomsday machine, but I do agree they need to get rid of the nasty thing. A blast from it takes out the Enterprise's transporter, so Kirk and company are trapped aboard the Constellation. Oh no, Commodore Decker takes command away from Spock, because reasons, and immediately goes on the attack.
This time I'm going to hit it with full phasers at point-blank range.
Aye, aye, sir.
It doesn't go well. Meanwhile, Kirk is trying to find out what the f*** is going on.
Enterprise, come in. Mr. Spock, come in. Kirk to Enterprise.
To blazes with regulations. You can't let him take command when you know he's wrong.
It is here we see that Decker has gone well and truly mad. He is not an evil character, but broken by his experience. Wyndham adopts a hand gesture with the tapes and a nod to Humphrey Bogart's character, Captain Queeg, in 1954's The Kane Mutiny. Well, Spock gets the upper hand utilizing an ancient, loving, caring Vulcan approach to a man in severe shock.
You tried to destroy it once before, Commodore. The result was a wrecked ship and a dead crew.
Which Decker takes extremely well.
We're stronger with you than without you.
Nicely done, Spock.
He's gone.
Now, with the scene-stealing guest star out of the picture, the episode goes downhill from here, right? Nope, not a bit of it. They notice the exploding shuttlecraft has done small but readable damage. Now, if they only had an extra starship they could fling at the beast. But of course, the Constellation! The transporter is now repaired, sorta, and all the remaining personnel get back to the Enterprise, save for Kirk, who stays behind to push the triggering switch Scotty had rigged up. What we have is Kirk in a race against the clock in a finicky transporter, and James here looks the most nervous he ever will in the original series.
Gentlemen, I suggest you beam me aboard.
Bridge, we got him through.
All is well.
It's quite dead.
Top tier, required viewing, all the usual accolades. Even Decker gets a fitting memorial.
Poor Matt. He gave his life in an attempt to save others. Not the worst way to go.
Indeed, Captain. I presume your log will show that Commodore Decker died in the line of duty.
Indeed it shall, Mr. Spot.
He'll treat his son like a dick, but that's another story.